Good evening. Welcome to a special midweek episode of Around the Diamond with Grand Slam Sam and Baseball Bill. We are here on a Wednesday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday. I don't
Yeah.
even know what day it is. It's a holiday week, though. So we're excited. We wanted to come special for you. Bring you the midweek love before we bring it back to you on Saturday. Anyway, Baseball Bill, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing wonderful. Yeah, it's my bad. I got the touch of the flu last week, and there was no way I would have given you the launch codes on Saturday had I was on Around the Diamond. So this works out perfectly. Sam's been gracious to move his schedules around, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun. The topics are gonna be fun, especially since I get to poke Sam's bear just a little bit.
Here we go. Here we go. We all know what's coming in this episode, but we're going to jump right into it. We're going to get this started with a couple of moves that have gone on over the last 9 days.
Yeah.
About. Let's start with a man that was a Giant, won a championship with the Braves, won a championship with the Rangers, and now is hoping to bring that good luck over to Kansas City. Will Smith is now a Royal on a 1-year contract. He likes these 1-year deals. Weird. Seth Lugo also signs a 3-year with the Royals, and following that up with Hunter Renfroe on a 2-year contract with the Royals. What are these three signings saying for the Royals, Bill?
We're gonna compete, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna compete. Just the Royals need some bullpen help. They're getting that. They need a bat. They're getting that in Renthro.
Mm.
And so that division, both central divisions, both National League and American League Centrals, are up for grabs. You don't have a solid team in either one of those divisions that you're looking at and saying, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
They're it. And so it tells me that these guys are on the move, which is great.
Oh yeah. Um, Winding up my team, we got Jung Hoo Lee, superstar out of Japan, signing a 6-year contract with the Giants. Approximately 113 million there after international fees. I think it's probably right around like the 130 mark somewhere
Yeah.
in that. 6 years though, really getting a good star out of the Japan League that's not a pitcher slash hitter, but strictly a fielder. I think this was a great signing by the Giants. It was a move that they had been talking about for a minute. They had been following this guy for last couple of years, so I'm excited. And then following that up with the Tommy Murphy signing to come in and back up my boy Patty B, Patrick Bailey behind the plate. I'm excited for these two signings. I think they're going to make some type of an impact. I know Jung Hoo Lee is definitely going to make an impact, solid contact hitter. And then Tom Murphy is definitely going to be that guy that can be the backup to Patrick and get some swings in every now and then when they need on the DH side. But you guys, beyond the major signing you guys had this week, you had another interesting trade slash extension. Why don't you take me through these last five, Bill?
So Tyler Glass now signs with the Dodgers, but the Dodgers were not going to take him as a rental. So they did sign him on a 5-year deal, which is good because that locks up uh, another piece of the pitching rotation. Yet
Mm.
everybody has been asking, okay, how's his arm? How's his arm? How's his arm? He addressed that when he said, hey, this is a team I've always wanted to play for. But he addressed the fact that, hey, I had no issues this last year. I don't think I'm going to have issues going forward. So we're going to put it behind us and we're going to stay healthy.
There
Um,
you go.
Huge signing. Obviously, on here, you see the Tigers are making their moves. The Rangers signed a 2-year contract, and then Gurriel back to the Diamondbacks. That didn't surprise me that Gurriel went back to the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I
He's kind of a
that
clubhouse
seems
leader.
that seemed right.
Yeah,
But his clubhouse leadership with Corbin's, rookie coming into his second year, I think Gurriel will really be able to help keep him grounded.
yeah. No, I agree.
Um, any of these more shocking than others?
Not really. not really. The next slide that talks about who's still up for grabs is a little shocking to me. Some
Well,
of the
let's
players.
get into it. Let's get into it. Let's not waste time.
Nah, let's
Let's
not waste
spend a
time.
lot. Let's spend a lot of time talking about this. I have a lot of questions about how they're saying the guy fourth on this list is worth $37 million
Yeah, me
after
too.
having two Tommy John surgeries.
No, no, no. He hasn't had Tommy John. He's got
I
back
thought he
issues.
had.
No,
I thought he had Tommy John.
mm-mm,
Oh,
no,
okay. Well, with the
no. You're
back
thinking of
issues,
Walker
he's
Buehler. You're thinking of
well.
Walker
Oh, that's
Buehler.
right. That's right. Well, here's the
Yeah.
other thing. If they're actually, I know why this makes sense for him.
Why is that?
Look at what the Mets did with Scherzer.
Yeah,
No, but what Scherzer's contract impacts Kershaw's contract.
yeah.
It
Oh,
all
that's
does.
true.
I mean, look, the Mets signed Scherzer on a 3-year contract worth money he never should have been awarded.
Yep.
And Kershaw is a better pitcher, has got a better track record of actually being able to go the full distance of a complete season.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I think his value is there. It's just shocking.
Yeah. So the one there's two guys on this list that I really feel bad for.
And I could have made this list a lot longer because the amount
Oh,
of awesome
absolutely.
free agents that are out there. Let me tell you, January is going to be the Christmas for baseball fans we were hoping for this month.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so there's two people on this list, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sammy, on this list. So a lot of them aren't surprises. Some of the market values are, but a lot of them aren't surprises. I'm a little surprised that Joey Votto was let go from the Reds. I kind of think he wants to go back there.
I do
Um,
too. I think he
but
wants to definitely, at the very least, end his career at Red. I
yeah,
mean,
well, and he's from Canada, so I'm sure he'd love to go to the Blue Jays as well. But in I don't think that his tank is on empty. I still think he's got something left. So I'm a little
yeah.
surprised that he's still on that list. The one
I
that
mean, he's
played the
40.
game and gambled wrong was Cody Bellinger. And so Cody Bellinger probably thought he might have a reunion with the Dodgers because the Dodgers were like on this reunion tour by
Mm-hmm.
bringing people back, and the Dodgers went and signed Shohei. And then the Yankees, which was another team that he was excited about, the Yankees, where his dad played, went and traded for Juan Soto. So, rumor on the streets, and you know how I feel about rumors, right? Is that Cody's probably headed either to Toronto or back to Chicago. But he played the gamble, and boy, did it backfire in his face. Boy, did it backfire in his face.
I don't blame him for taking the gamble.
Ah,
After the year he had,
ah,
and if you look at the overall market around center fielders that were already in MLB, it wasn't really major. There weren't really many free agent outfield center fielders out there or outfielders in general.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
look at this. There's one outfielder on this entire list. And if I go through the free agents that are still available, besides Cody Bellinger, there's AJ Pollock, Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, the outfield market here is bleak. But where it gets interesting is like what the Giants did and expanded that market and went into international play. And
Mhm.
I think that is where Cody's team wasn't looking at the big picture. I think he looked at what was out there in that was available to him for him to get right then and there and didn't realize what wasn't being seen. And
Correct.
now that they're seeing, oh, well, there's the internet, there's Japan, oh, there's the DR, oh, there's Mexico, there's and
Mhm.
I'm gonna I'm
Mhm.
gonna I'm gonna after the show, I may have to go off camera and bash my head in a little bit. There's now in the Middle East, in the Middle Eastern League, and guys coming back. I mean, there's markets that agents weren't looking at that I think is going to be so impactful in the years to come, because they're going to say,
Yep.
we can't rely on our guys to get these big contracts. Now we actually have to expand and go into international markets to widen up our free agent, to not only as an agent to widen up your portfolio, but as a team to widen just your net.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And I mean, there have been teams like the Dodgers, the Giants have done it in years past. The Pirates did it years. I mean, they still do it, but years ago they went and got a young kid named Roberto Clemente out of Puerto Rico, right?
Yep.
The Dodgers have been grabbing people from Central and South America and Mexico for years, right?
Yankees.
The Yankees, exactly. And so you're absolutely right on that. It's just the question becomes is somebody one time asked me, actually recently, somebody asked me, why do they call it the World Series when every team is in the US except for one? And I said, funny that you say that because it's pretty much representative of the whole world based on if you look at rosters, right? You've got Japan, China, Korea. I I mean, every Central South America country that you can think of has somebody in their
Australia.
system.
Australia with Liam.
Right, right.
You know,
Holland,
we're
Britain,
not really
Israel.
seeing much out of Europe, but
Yeah, you
Europe,
know,
you know,
yeah.
they're
So
more focused. They're more focused on European football, aka American soccer. Get it, respect it, all about it. Ted Lasso all day. But yeah, I
shameless
think,
plug, shameless plug.
I don't, I, I commend Cody for testing the market. I think the Giants would also be a team to at least throw in for Cody. Just because, I would say that there is nothing solidifying left field right now for the life of me.
Hmm.
And Cody has proven to be an all-around outfielder, not just a center fielder. So
Yep.
if he's open to moving to the left, I could see him not only playing left, but being exceptionally well in left field at Oracle. And he's proven to be a great hitter out of Oracle Park too. He
Right.
has a
He just
great track record of
it
hitting
it
well.
would be hard for the fans to see him, your fans to see
Yeah,
him in a
but
Giants jersey.
it was also hard for fans to see Brian Wilson in a Dodger jersey for a year, but
Yeah,
we
but
got over that real fucking quick.
Brian,
Freaking
Brian
quick.
Wilson. Brian Wilson was also well beyond his prime when he came to the
Well,
Dodgers.
yeah, that's obvious, but it
So,
is what it is. Oh,
all right.
Sergio Romo. Sergio Romo was a Dodger for a flash in the pan. That didn't last long.
No, that didn't last long either.
Exactly.
So,
But I'm surprised by some of the guys on this list. But again, I think come January, Christmas is gonna come late for baseball.
yeah, yeah. Blake and
But
Josh will sign soon.
yeah. But let's go to the big name this week. The big one. We got Mr. Shohei Ohtani in a Dodger jersey. Dodgers, baby. He's there. $700 million over 10 years. $70 million. Wait. Wait, what? Bill, what
But
was the contract he signed?
you've been waiting to do this. Go ahead
I
and put
have
up.
been waiting to do this.
Yeah, don't.
No, the Dodgers are paying this man $2 million a year for the next 10 years. And they deferred 680 million of it to be paid out between 2034 and 2043. Bill, tell me what your thoughts are. I mean, I know what your thoughts are, but let's talk about it.
I don't know that I like the contract. I think $700 million is a lot for one player. Um, Understandably so. Let's stick on the conservative side for a second, right? On the conservative side, you're going to say that he's going to pitch for maybe four or five, maybe of those seasons. Remember, he's not pitching this season, so you're paying $2 million and 68 million deferred for a full-time DH this season.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this was my concern. And Sam, you and I had talked about this forever.
Yep.
Um, And
I think
so,
this was a major concern across the board for no matter what team signed him.
right. So you have Major League Baseball created the Shohei rule, right? Where you're pitching, they don't call it the Shohei rule, but you're pitching, you come out as a pitcher, but you can stay in as a DH. That rule was created for Shohei Ohtani, right? And recently in the last couple of seasons. That being said, you're going to see a contract thing called the Shohei Ohtani rule because all this was a loophole, right? I'm sure a bunch of lawyers got together and said, Mr. Shohei, you can do this, yada, yada, yada. You made X number of dollars in your life already. You can do this, and then you can recruit other players to come in. Life will be good, right? And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what the dude did. And
Yep.
you cannot blame him.
No, I don't blame him. I don't. I think it was a smart. I mean, it's the Bobby Bonilla rule.
Bobby Bonilla,
Yeah, that's who it is. That's exactly
Bobby
the rule.
Bonilla, Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla. It's the Bobby Bonilla rule. That's the rule it is. It's the deferment rule. So I think the question comes to is how do other teams compete with things like this?
So, and
Do
that's
teams
the
in
issue.
second and third tier markets compete with a team like the Dodgers who do stuff like that?
Well, and that's the issue, right? So again, if you looked at the Padres at the beginning of the season, you would have thought they had murder's row, right? Just straight
Mm.
up. You would have thought that they had murder's row because they had Tatis Jr., they had Soto, they had Bogarts, right? You had Manny, right? And so you would have thought that. Now the Dodgers have Ohtani. Their starting lineup, it looks like their starting lineup is going to be Mookie leading off, Shohei batting second, Freddie batting third, Will Smith batting fourth, and Max Muncy batting fifth. That's a pretty dangerous 1 through 5. The only person that I would even want to consider pitching to in that lineup is Max Muncy, knowing that Max is going to get 100 hits a season and 98 of them are going to be home runs because he either hits a home run or flies out. So it's it, it's kind of not totally fair. As a Dodger fan, I love it. Let's go. As a baseball fan, you are David and Goliath. Now, I did say this to somebody, and I'm going to tell you this, Sam, and I truly believe this. For the Dodgers not to get burned on this, they need to do one of two. They need to do two things. Number one,
Okay.
they need to bank that 68 million. So when it comes due in 2034, it's not hurting their pocketbook
Right.
because you know that they're going to make over $2 billion over 10 years in this contract.
100%.
Number two, that they need to do is they need to understand that for this to work, for this whole Shohei long-term $700 million contract to work, they have to go to the World Series in the first 3 years of that contract. They have to win at least one World Series in the first 5 years. And in the 10 years, they have to win at a bare minimum two, but should win three. And you and I both know, you're a Giants fan, you know how difficult it is to win three World Series in 10 years. You've only done it one time in your team's history. The
Yeah.
Dodgers have never done it. They've been to, 77, 78, and 81. They were in three World Series in 5 years and won one of them. But it's hard to do with this kind of lineup. That's otherwise this is a failed experiment, right? That's
I,
the business of baseball side, not the
oh yeah.
fandom.
So the other thing that we have to look at with this is Shohei is as you mentioned, Shohei is not pitching this year
Correct.
because he's getting surgery. So
Got
the other thing
surgery.
that we what
Got surgery.
got surgery.
Hmm.
I forgot. He's walking around with nothing on his arms. He just can't throw a ball. Um, unless he goes to left field, which apparently is something he's considering doing now. Don't ask me why. Um, if his arm doesn't come back, would you still say it's a failed experiment? Because remember, you paid the man $70 million technically over
No.
20 years. You're paying him $700 million over 20 years. Let's just get this right. You're paying him $2 million for the first 10, and then you're paying him $68 million for the second 10. So over 20 years, you're paying the man $700 million.
Mm-hmm.
But you're paying him to be a pitcher DH.
Right. Yeah. So again, as a team success, if they win 2 World Series in 10 years or three, and they get to the World Series 3 times or 4 times, right? Then no, it's not a failed experiment. Keep in mind that Shohei has, I want to say, 171 home runs, and he's coming up on 1,000 hits, if I'm not mistaken, or just crossed 1,000 hits. If Shohei is only a DH and with his natural attrition with age, right? He should hit home runs 200, 300, and 400 in a Dodger uniform, and he should cross 3,000 hits.
I'm not saying that
So,
those aren't great. I mean, that's great.
so
That's
is it a
fantastic.
failed experiment? You saw what happened with the jersey sales. 48 hours, Sam. He sold more jerseys than Messier did.
Messi.
Messi, whatever. Messi, Messier, tomato.
You got me on Carlos, so I had to go a little
Carlos,
jet.
Bobby,
Bobby. See, I can't even get their names right anymore.
Top Fan
Sorry,
Rivalry followers.
I was thinking about the guys that were going out and buying jerseys from the Mets side. They said Carlos Correa, and then realized that after a month that he wasn't coming there, and then they spent money on a
Top,
jersey he was never getting.
Top Fan Rivalry followers. We'll stop doing this in the evening. I apologize. Sam has thrown a few back, if you know what I mean. Just
I haven't
and
thrown enough back, if you know what I mean.
ah,
All right now. Uh, but
next
I
topic.
think the last question I have to ask on this
Yeah.
is that is in your opinion,
Mhm.
if he doesn't come back and pitch
Yeah.
in the way that we expected, and two, for at least half of this contract, because
Okay.
I'm looking at this as if he doesn't pitch for at least 5 of the 10 years in this contract, you basically paid $70 million for a DH.
Okay. $70 million over 20 years, which is 35 million a year, which is about what Aaron Judge is getting paid. And Aaron Judge could end up as a full-time DH in that
Mm,
span. So again, it goes to team accomplishments and it goes to don't Sam, trust me, I'm a finance guy. So I
that's
mean,
true. You are a
when you
finance
look
guy.
at
I'm
it,
talking money with a finance guy. This is a
yeah,
terrible
when you look
conversation.
at it over 20 years, it's 35 million a season on an average out, right? And there's more people out there. Mike Trout's getting paid more than that a season.
And Mike Trout's been injured for 3 of the last 5.
Yeah. I mean, but now, Sam, if you walk down the street, if I took you to, there's like 3 malls that are relatively close to Anaheim Stadium. If I took you to any one of the 3 malls and you were wearing a Shohei Ohtani Angel jersey, people would be high-fiving you. If you were wearing a Shohei Ohtani jersey, people would be walking up to you, flipping you off. Angel fans think that he's a traitor for this.
Oh, my wife and I had an entire conversation about this. And she was like, I feel just like if I'm an Angels fan, I just feel so hurt. I'm like, you should feel hurt if you're an Angels fan. However, I'm going to take it similar to how you took it. From the business side, the Angels weren't offering him what he asked for. They weren't even giving him the years. Like, forget the dollar value. Forget the dollar value. He just wanted another long-term thing. He wanted something long-term worth good value.
Hmm?
And he even went to the Angels and said, offer me something. And they were like, we're not going to come close. So we're just not going to try. So as an Angels fan, who are you more mad at? Are you more mad at him or are you more mad at the Angels?
Oh, oh no, Sam. And we'll have this lady on a guest on our show. Okay. On this show, we'll
Good.
have her on the show one of these Saturday mornings. I was with an Angel fan when the news broke. I was with an Angel fan and a Ranger fan, and Amber and I, and a Giants fan actually. And
The
we were
Giants
all,
fan was sad.
yeah, well, Giants fan didn't care. Giants fan, was like, I'm a very casual fan. The Angels fan literally unfollowed Shohei as soon as the news came out and had it videoed that she unfollowed Shohei. And then somebody had sent her old news, like it was new news, saying that Artie Moreno's selling the team, and she got so excited. And because they think it's more of a thing from a ownership perspective and a management perspective than a Shohei perspective.
100%.
So
100%. I agree with them completely.
can't argue that. Can't
No,
argue that.
I can't argue the man for going out and getting what he's worth.
Yes.
Now,
Amen.
as a Giants fan, do I feel a little butthurt he didn't take our offer and he took the Dodgers offer? Yes, I feel a little teased by it. However,
so let's
what I
talk
will
about
say
that.
is that he wanted to stay in LA. He
So let's
wanted to
talk
stay in
about
South
that.
Cal.
Do we have a, because I know we're running out of time. Do we have a slide on that?
No, but we have what to watch.
Okay. So let's talk about that for a second with the Giants.
Okay, let's talk about it because I know you've been dying to talk about this.
No.
Poke my bear.
So here's my thing. I think that there's 4 reasons why a player chooses where they're going to play. Okay.
Okay.
Number 1 is, do they think the team's going to win? In the Giants case, I would say yes. They're a team built to win. Okay. Number 2, do you like the ballpark? Who couldn't like Oracle? I like Oracle, and I'm a Dodger fan. Here's where it gets tough. Number 3 and number 4. Okay. How's the city around ballpark, right? Because remember, Shohei, I believe, is a single guy, but when he gets married, does he want his wife coming into a place if it's not good or bad, right? Especially if she's pregnant or whatever. And then number 4 is how's the school system? And right now in San Francisco, number 3 and number 4 are very questionable. And so, and I'm not saying that LA is perfect, but remember, Chavez Ravine is up on a mountain or up on a hill, right? You pass by a bunch of homeless people when you're driving on the freeway and you see homeless encampments. But to get to Oracle Park, you literally have to walk around people sleeping on the sidewalk. And so, I mean, I honestly think there's 4 reasons why a player chooses, because number 3 and number 4, and again, if you were offered the same contract, forget LA and San Francisco, because you and I, we'll battle about that, right?
100%. Yeah, we
Okay.
have to take LA and San Francisco off the market, and let's look at a different. Let's look at
Detroit. Okay.
and Chicago.
Well, that's kind of the same thing.
You want to go Kansas City?
Yes. So let's go
So
Detroit and
Kansas City and Detroit.
You're offered the same thing. Now, both ballparks are amazing. Both teams play in a division that's up for grabs. Okay. Both teams are in a rebuilding mode, but are just inking towards the playoffs and could potentially both make playoff berths this next season. Yet in Kansas
I think
City,
Kansas City's still got 2 years, but that's another conversation.
possibly. But when you go to the K, when you go to Kauffman, you're not around anything.
Right.
Okay. When you go to Detroit, years ago now, it may be better now, but years ago when I went to Co-America, I parked across the street. And a cop who helped me cross the street said, "Are you walking back alone?" I said, "No, I hope to be walking back." This is a true story. I said, "No, I hope to be walking back with 20,000 of my favorite, my closest friends." And he goes, "Good, don't walk back here by yourself." That's where your ballpark's at.
Right.
So if I'm
No,
a
and
young father, do I want my kids subject to that?
no, I totally get that. I completely agree with you. I think there's a lot of it's tough because if you talk to the players that have lived there, that have raised their kids there, that have been to the ballpark year over year, you know, they are looking at this from the perspective of San Fran. And I've been to San Francisco. I've been to Oracle Park in the last 3 years. I've been to the Bay in the last 3 years. So yeah, I've seen it, but at the same time, Scott Boras said it. you see that everywhere. You see homeless people everywhere. To say homeless people is the reason why people aren't growing this, you can't
No,
say
no,
that because then
no.
no one would go to New York. You know what I
No, of
mean?
course not. Of course not.
So I think and I will say that the school system in San Francisco may not be the best,
Hmm?
but also if you talk to most of the players that have kids, they don't live in San Francisco. They
No.
live north of San Francisco, where the
Yeah.
better school systems are.
Yeah.
So, you to an extent, but what I'll say is where I think the extension ends is that I don't think it's players talking about the city. I think it's other sources talking about how the city is. And that's a conversation you and I have spoken about offline that we won't ever get into because that topic should never come into baseball. But I think that
Yeah.
plays a part. That's where I think it's being played more of a part. Because again,
Yeah.
if you talk to the players that have played there for years, it's a great city. The fan base is awesome. The stadium is fantastic.
I
It's
agree.
a nail on the head that you said. But again, I think some outside areas extenuate how a city is being portrayed, which is what is causing certain things to be why certain.
100,000%.
So,
100,000%. And and baseball and politics don't belong. No game belongs inside of politics,
and you
right?
and I have
Basketball,
talked about this that we will
yeah,
never bring our politics
yeah.
into
I
baseball.
mean, no, no, but it's unfortunate because you see people that make decisions that have nothing to do with baseball.
Yeah.
That's my only argument. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
No, it
That
makes
makes sense.
total sense. And again,
Okay, so
and around the Diamond fans, Bill and I could talk about this for literal hours. But I think maybe
and I
Bill
think
and
we
I will
have.
just get on a podcast about this. Maybe we'll just
Yeah.
do a Top Fair Every podcast about it. And we'll just talk. You
So
guys want that? We want that. We're gonna do it.
in the
But
last 5 or 6 minutes, Sammy, that we have, this division to watch, I think the National League West is now the division to watch
100%.
on on paper, and I'm not being a homer here, Sam. On paper, the
You
Dodgers
can be
win.
a homer. You can be a part. You can be a homer here.
No, no, no. On paper, the Dodgers should win the West. On paper.
Oh, 100%. No
Now,
question.
who comes in second is a mix between San Francisco, San Diego, and Arizona. Now, if you don't sign anybody else, no major signings or anything like that, with the exception of Lee, if you learn how to play the game where it's get them on, get them over, get them in, you guys will come in second place for sure.
Oh yeah, no question.
Unfortunately, I don't know the identity of the Rockies. I don't understand what they're trying to
I don't
do.
think anyone in the other 29 teams of baseball understands what's going on in the Rockies.
Yeah,
I
me
don't get
neither.
it. And I was there. I don't understand it. They don't have any true identity. They brought in Chris Bryant, who they thought was going to be the veteran leader and presence for that team, and he hasn't done anything to help them out. So,
Exactly.
I mean, but I think this again, this in our opinions around the Diamond fans is the division to watch.
Yeah,
I again, I wish I could keep talking about this,
yeah,
but being this late hour and unfortunately, as Bill said, I may have put one or two back that I maybe shouldn't have. We're gonna slowly wrap this up to ensure that I don't say anything I
yeah,
shouldn't
yeah.
say. But Bill, you've put together such a great schedule for the rest of this week, and I know you've got a
Yes.
fantastic schedule coming up for the holiday week. So just wrap up who's coming in for the end of this week.
So Nick will be on the podcast. Nicholas will be on the podcast tomorrow. He's a Diamondbacks fan, first time guest, fantastic dude. Battle for New York. We have two Mets fans, two Yankee fans coming up, possibly three Mets fans. We'll see. Um, that will happen. And then Mikey Bleeds Blue will be on talking Dodgers baseball. As far as in the leagues is concerned, tomorrow, Wednesday, obviously, Susie
That was
is
a misspell because I hit the wrong letter.
that's okay. I was looking at him like, huh? And then Megan, Sam's already put himself in there. I
Oh,
haven't
I'm
even
just
talked.
showing up. I'm
I
just
haven't
showing
even
up.
talked to Megan yet.
Yeah, well,
So
Megan will be pleasantly surprised. Let's be honest. You know she will
I don't know. No.
be.
Yep. So that's the schedule. But here's the big one. Sam, take us to the next slide.
Vegas, baby!
Vegas. We are
So
officially
pumped.
1 month away from Vegas.
As
So
of today,
as of today. So
that's
here's what you need
crazy.
to know. For those of you that are listening to this that have already registered, you will start getting email communication starting next week with the agendas, the itineraries, what to expect. For those of you that haven't registered yet, go on, get your locker room access. If you don't have it, use the code ATD around the diamond, all caps, get 10%, then 10% off, and then go buy your Vegas ticket. We are going to be on the 64th floor of the Delano at Skyfall. Breathtaking view. Breathtaking view. Sam, when you get up there, oh my gosh, forget about it. You're going to love it up there.
What am I
And
got? Allegiant Stadium, right there.
yes, actually you will.
Nice,
Actually you
nice.
will, yes. And then obviously Saturday we're going to be filming some rivalry talks. Saturday night we'll have another get together. Sunday we'll have a kind of a brunch where people can come and go as they please, and then we're just going to run it from there. Let
You're gonna have
everybody
on your Ohtani jersey. Have
my
you
Angels
ordered your
Ohtani jersey.
Ohtani
Yeah,
jersey?
yeah.
Have you ordered your Ohtani jersey yet?
I have not. I have not.
I bet Amber already ordered it for you for Christmas. I bet they're on back order. At this point, they've got to be on back order.
They've got to be on back order.
There's no way they are, because guess what? They because everyone and their sister probably put expedited shipping because they wanted to get it for Christmas.
Right.
And there's just no way they're gonna be able to keep up with the demand.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, my friend, take us
Hey,
home.
as always, around the Diamond fans, make sure you are checking out TopFanRivalry.com for new articles, podcasts, merch, and all about the new year and FanFest. It is going to be electric. Bill, any final words for the fans out there?
Go fight, win. Let's go.
Go fight, win. Happy holidays. If you celebrate Hanukkah, hope you had a happy Hanukkah. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. We hope we see you. Make sure you check us out on Saturday. We will be here doing this all over again with some new info. Probably touch on some current stuff that we already talked about. Maybe continue a conversation or two. Who knows? But you got to check it out this Saturday. Other than that, we will see you on the field. Have a good night.
Talk to you soon.